Hi, my name is Cold Beer, and let's start with Volcanoids. If Satisfactory and Riftbreaker had a baby, Volcanoids would be the result of their forbidden love. This is a base-building, open-world survival shooter with heavy steampunk elements. Here you can play absolutely alone or with up to 3 friends and explore a never-changing volcanic island. Upgrade your drill, fight hostile machines, and reveal what's been hiding in the depths of the underground. You can also capture resources and technology and use it to destroy the rest of the machines. The game is in early access since forever, but it has very positive reviews and gamers are saying that this is a real hidden gem, and if you have friends, it's almost a must-play. Jurassic World Evolution 2. Here you can build your very own Jurassic Park just like in the first part, but a bit more beautiful, fancier and a bit better. You know that number at the end of the game's name has to mean something, and it means more species of dinosaurs as well, like at least 2. So at first it's all about fun, interesting creatures and happy customers, until some brown substance from the bottom of Biosaurus hits the fan. And by that I mean that life always finds the way, and that is kinda the opposite of life for everyone else in your park. You may think that the raptors will escape the cage and will start feasting on your customers, but the reality is way more cruel. There's almost no way that the first human eaten in your beautiful park by a potato raptor would be just a terrible accident. You know, the fault of cheap fence or stupid worker forgetting to close the gates. Nah, it will be you. You will save the game and then let the creatures go. Because after a while you will get bored.
And only blood can entertain you.
Clanfolk. This is a city builder set in the Scottish Highlands. As always, you will have to harness your environment to survive. Fish, gather, hunt, and farm as you prepare for the winter. Build an inn, trade with other clans, have children, and marry them off. You can create your own lineage, you know, a clan of weeklong ding-dongs. Why not? Or choose from an existing clan, and then take charge of the multi-generational family seeking to survive in the harsh Scottish Highlands. Every member of your family here has their own traits, aspirations, dreams, and skills that will probably never become true, you know, because you are in charge and no offense. Anyway, they will care for themselves and for each other, and they will seek to better themselves over time. Game is well received by players, so don't hesitate if you like colony sims. Airborne Kingdom. This is a sky city builder where you grow a unique town among the clouds, build housing, satisfy needs and grow your clan. Maintain lift, balance weight and be careful not to run low on fuel while you fly it across a wide open landscape which changes with every playthrough. Search for resources, find lost technologies and discover the fate of the ancients. At the same time, gain allegiance with the ground kingdoms and help them find artifacts, construct monuments and build trade routes. Your guidance can propel an era of harmony, but knowing you and knowing me, we will probably crash into some thriving city and kill thousands of innocent people instead. World War II Rebuilder. The year is 1945, it's the end of World War II, and you are one of the builders assigned to repair and renovate places completely destroyed during the war. You will visit monuments and famous buildings, stumble upon their history and take part in the biggest rebuilding missions, meet civilians from England, Germany and France and guide them through the process. During the journey you will collect resources and craft materials to flip houses, repair industrial buildings, roads and squares, pick up a hammer, drive a bulldozer, become a mechanic and operator of various machines, drive cars and bicycles. Also clean up the area, defuse and get rid of the bombs, and design the new look of the place by decorating. Game has quite nice visuals and the atmosphere is great as well. World War II Rebuilder is an owner of very positive reviews, and people on Steam are saying that if you liked other sim games, especially the House Flipper, this one is very similar, just with a cool twist on the setting. Megaquarium. This is a theme park management tycoon game with an aquatic twist. You will need to design your displays, look after your animals, manage your staff and keep your guests happy. Starting just with a few tanks and the most basic of livestock, you'll grow your aquarium to a glass metropolis filled with hundreds of guests and staff. The game features almost 100 different marine species including fish, sharks, crustaceans, corals, jellyfish and other invertebrates and turtles. Also giraffes, elephants and even a Spinosaurus. Yeah, they don't come with an original game, but the modding community is huge, so you can literally have a theme park of extinct marine fauna if you want, or you can mod the game yourself and make your own animal. Cold Beeropotamus or even Potato Saladosaurus is a preferred creation. Shadwen. This is a brutal title that mixes Assassin's Creed and Thief in a one game, kinda similar to Styx Master of Shadows, but it feels way more indie and not in a good sense. Although developers are the same who created well-known Trine platformers, in general they are not new to this game creation affair, and that is a good thing. So here you are, an assassin on a quest to kill the king. That sounds nice, but you suddenly encounter an orphaned girl, and you can't just leave her, because you are a ruthless assassin, but you are also somehow a good person. So this brutal game is filled with feelings, and that is never a good thing. Never. Who is the target audience? Well, but you may still like the drama, and if you do, the price is kinda nice. The game is a bit raw, bulky sometimes, but in general plays very nicely. So you can stab many guards in the back and still feel like a good person. Lumencraft. This is a combination of a top-down shooter and base-building game with tower defense elements. You will enter procedurally generated levels with a fully destructible environment. You will build your base, dig some tunnels and find the precious lumen, humanity's only chance for survival, a crystal of high energy that may be the last chance for the mankind. Your people established an underground settlement and went into the dark to reach the nearby deposits, but the darkness consumed them as the subterranean caves and tunnels hold as much danger as salvation. Now it's time for you to step into the endless shadows and show all that darkness who the real boss is. As always, probably not you. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This is a massive, challenging action RPG that drops you into a vast open world full of interesting characters and creatures. The game is made by Capcom, a Japanese company, but the whole setting of Dragon's Dogma is European. So you may think maybe because of that this game features some ridiculous moments, but Capcom was really serious about the job. They went all around Europe to actually get a lot of information, especially for the backgrounds and environments in the Dragon's Dogma. They looked at architecture and buildings and things of that nature, and also just natural environments as well. Also took many pictures and tried to recreate those as closely as possible. Well, a bunch of Japanese people in Europe taking pictures? Who could have thought? Anyway, developers actually did a lot of research in Europe that helped to recreate stuff in-game, and that level of dedication is truly admirable. Dragon's Dogma has more strategy and more dynamic fights than usual action RPG games. You can climb monsters here, and that is super cool. Also, it's a tougher game in general, but if you like to explore the open world and love fantasy games, you can't ignore it. Gamers are talking that this is an underrated gem and is a must-play for every open-world RPG fan. Submarine Titans. A long time ago, the game named StarCraft inspired this game. Submarine Titans was released in the year of 2000s and nobody noticed that. For real, StarCraft was my favorite game of all time, and I heard about Submarine Titans only a few years ago when it finally arrived on Steam. It's a wonderful classic RTS game that will run smoothly on your modern machine. Well, a not so modern machine as well. The game takes only half gigabyte of Cosmos and your microprocessor must have only 1 GHz of power. This is a joke, along with the price of this RTS game, which to be honest has a very positive review score. Minute of Islands. Here you are, a skilled tinkerer living with your family on an archipelago once inhabited by an ancient race of inscrutable giants. Their mysterious but vital machines festering in the underbelly of the island must be kept going, or an almost forgotten threat will swallow all. You vow to restore the hidden engines in time, but is this truly what you need? With your powerful Omni-Switch, you go through story-based environmental puzzles and platform gameplay until you will regain control over the giants' machines. People on Steam are saying that the art direction is absolutely amazing, but also warn you that the game leaves a lot of loose ends after it ends, and don't play this game if you are sad or depressed. It's not for you. Also, you can try the demo version for free. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This game reminds me of Witcher, but for a younger or, less brutal audience, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogues, third-person view and so on. But here you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains or any nudity. Redhead will never show what she's hiding. Here you will get no love affairs, no hot scenes by the waterfall, just robot dinosaurs and indigenous people. I played about 30 hours of this game a few years ago on my PlayStation. I had a great time, but I never finished it because I encountered a difficulty spike and I couldn't play anymore without loading a save game that was an hour ago. And I had no intention to do that, so be careful of the places named the Cauldron. Make sure your character level is appropriate before entering inside.
Turnip boy commits tax evasion.
He will take control of an adorable Turnip who happens to be an absolute menace to society. After failing to pay taxes and getting evicted from your home, you must go on an epic quest to pay back your massive debt to Mayor Onion. Use garden tools to solve plantastic puzzles, meet eccentric vegetables and fruits, and take on treacherous fights against animals both big and small, including the capitalist swine. Along the journey, uncover what's spoiling this garden community and rise to tear down the corrupt vegetable government. In other words, you are a lazy, shady turnip that wants to evade paying taxes and, along the way, start the revolution. Some kind of Lenin, I guess. Endzone, a world apart. A group of terrorists blew up nuclear power plants around the globe and plunged the world into chaos. Only a few were able to escape into underground facilities called the Endzones. Well, in the real world, if that happened, it would suck, but it wouldn't be a civilization-ending event. Anyway, this is a game. 150 years later, mankind returns to the surface and, surprise, surprise, under your command. So, poor humanity is doomed. I'm sorry, no offense. Okay, a little offense. Here, in an extremely hostile environment, full of radioactivity, contaminated rain and vicious climate change, you will have to prove your worth as a leader.
Good luck with that.
So you will have to build a settlement, gather and refine resources, send expeditions to forgotten places, and much more. People on Steam are talking that the game is really fun if you like city builders, but it has complex UI system and the lore part is really weak. Also, the game is really hard. Anyway, 77% of players who try the Endzone are recommending this game for you. Far Lone Sails. This is a vehicle adventure game where you travel across a dried-out ocean following the tracks of a once thriving civilization. Through an array of roadblocks and hazardous weather, you need to keep your vessel going. While doing that, a lot of questions are circling in your mind. Where will this journey take you? Are you the last of your kind? What happened to the ocean? Will you taste potato salad ever again? Will they finally make another Edge of Tomorrow movie? Can we, with the help of AI, make more Firefly series in the future? And why, when you drink 1 liter of beer, you piss out 2 liters of piss? I guess if you crack the latter, the Nobel Prize would be yours without competition. So it's only you, your machine, and the big nothing. Far is an art from the big A. True fart, if I may say, but in a good sense. A Juggler's Tale. In this cinematic adventure, you will lead Abby, the string puppet, through a grim but beautiful fairy tale world. You will have to solve riddles, evade traps, and run from evil stuff on your way to find freedom. The game has specific mechanics, as you can see, and that creates unique puzzles you will have to solve. You will have to find your way around obstacles, cross raging rivers, sneak through bandit camps, and make it past dangerous traps. And find out what it takes to truly break free from all strings attached. I guess there is a pun intended here. People on Steam are saying that the game is short but unique and beautiful. More than 90% of reviews are positive, so if you like unique platformers, it's definitely a good choice. And if you are in doubt, you can try it by playing a free demo version. Old World. A really nice game for Civilization and Crusader Kings fans. It is an historical strategy game where you lead your empire through multiple generations, building a grand legacy to last beyond your own years. Here, each of the 7 kingdoms has 4 noble families that provide various benefits when put in charge of your cities. So you will obviously have to marry for politics, raise your heirs, and manage your relationship with the other influential noblemen of your kingdom. So like in that movie I never saw with Vin Diesel, family is what matters here, and if you want to be a strong ruler, your family must be strong as well. So probably marriages between cousins or brothers and sisters here and there is what you actually want. You may think that this is just a simple clone of Civilization, but the game actually takes about 40 hours to beat and contains 3000 unique events inspired by history and mythology. Review score hovers around 80% of positivity, so despite some minor things, all is good in this field. SUPERHOT. Yes, it's you, my friend, never doubt that. But also this very entertaining, but also a very short game. The main campaign will take only about 3 hours to complete. Here you will not find the regenerating health bars, no conveniently placed ammo drops. Here it's you, alone, outnumbered and outgunned. You will have to snatch weapons from fallen enemies and dodge through a truly cinematic hurricane of bullets. SUPERHOT is a real slow-motion ballet, where your every move must be calculated. Most people are praising the graphic style of SUPERHOT, but I don't like it. Graphic-wise, it feels like an unfinished game for me. But hey, it's just me. Game has 90% of positive reviews, so if you like how it looks, you will definitely like how it plays. Frostpunk. If you ever had a dream to make children work in the mines, this game will fulfill this dream of yours in no time. Frostpunk is a city management and building game, but with heavy survival elements and resource management mechanics. You will be in charge of a steampunk society that survived the collapse of civilization. But sometimes it's better to perish with the others than to be governed by a maniac like you. Just remember those children you sent into the mines. Anyway, you know, their hands are tiny but they are fast. Some of them might die. Their parents will organize a coup against you, but, you know, you can't rebel if you're dead. You know, you rebel, you die. Also, in this way, you will have less people to feed. Everything falls in place like mayonnaise on the potato salad. Since the premiere, Frostpunk has been enriched with a number of updates. Now you can enjoy the new Endless mode that increases the game's replayability. There is also a new scenario, the Fall of Winterhome, that further expands the game's universe and lore. And for the dessert, they added things like naming characters and automatons, and finally a photo mode. The game has about 90% of positive review score on Steam and is great for everyone who likes to dive into a post-apocalyptic world and make it better. Or worse. Way worse. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!